Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. So I had the distinct pleasure to get to play with the new Simon Hurley release. It's a mini release. It's a wave set of stamps and this adorable set of kid stamps, and it's basically themed around the ocean and Surf's Up. So it's so cute. I have been wanting to get my hands on a Simon Hurley stamp set for a very long time because I love the kid stamps, especially because when AJ gets a look at them, he's my 6-year-old, he just has a ball with them. So we are very excited to play with this. So let me show you what card I'm going to be making. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is pulling out the stamp set from the waves. I love that it's a background set, but it's also, you can pick and choose what pieces you want to use. So I think that's really innovative and fun. I'm not sure if I've seen that out there before, so that is kind of cool because then you don't have to do your masking if you don't want the whole background, etc. So right here, I'm only using this large piece, and this is the bottom piece of the 3 stamps. So I am going to use my Misty for that, some clear embossing powder, and no, this is white embossing powder, excuse me, some Versamark ink. And then I'm going to use my new Wagner heat tool. Yes, it is a new one. So I have a review. Either it's going to be out the same day this one is released, this video, or the next day. But be on the lookout because I have a review on that and let you know what I think of it. I am going to take some Post-it masking paper and I am going to mask off the top because the top that I have covered right now is the sky. So we're going to come back to that with some different colors. I'm taking some Distress Oxide ink here in Mermaid, Lagoon, and Peacock feathers, and I'm going to get this turquoisey blue kind of mix for the water. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen water this color. I kind of have. I lived in Hawaii for a few years, and there are many places where it's just absolutely stunning. I'm not sure if on the horizon it would ever look like that, but it's card making. We're going with it. Right here, I want to show you how white that actually does show up with the resist technique when you take a paper towel and kind of wipe that down a little bit. I used a dry one because I didn't want the wetness of a baby wipe to mess with my Distress Oxide ink blending. I am using Bristol Smooth cardstock. If I didn't mention that, that is a wonderful cardstock to use for ink blending. It blends like a dream. And I'm going to be then moving on to the sky. So I'm making a sunset sky. You can see me kind of go off to the side here. What I'm doing is wiping off my makeup brush onto a microfiber cloth, and that's going to clean it up and then let me continue to use it. I don't have to do this because I have far too many makeup brushes in my inventory. However, this was just me being lazy, and so I was just wiping it off on the side. Okay, I get my ink blended panel the way I like it, and in fact, over time, it actually kind of smooths out even more, so you'll see in the still photos. I went off screen and stamped out this cute dog. This is just the most adorable dog, and he is going to be, it looks like he's like laying down on his back. So I'm going to play that up, and he's going to be sitting on a surfboard. But I am going to be using some Arteza Everblend alcohol markers. The colors I'm using are on the left-hand side. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but I prefer these markers when I'm doing small images like this. I have some brush tip markers from Master Marker, but I love the bullet nib. Also, I've just grown really comfortable with the bullet nib. So that's my marker of choice. And I do have the 120 set plus the skin tones and the grays extra set. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. I did just post a review on the gray and skin tones and how to make a color chart. So if you want to check that out as well, I'll link that below and at the end of the video. So the way I'm coloring this is, the way I color all the time is I put down the lightest color first so I can kind of saturate that paper and get it ready and kind of conditioned for the blending. Then I'm going to go in and line out with the darker color where I think shadows would be. And then I'm going to go in with the medium, pull that out. This is the best way to see it, is on this little surfboard here. So lightest color, darkest color, medium color. So you can see it goes right in that order. And I kept the top of the surfboard the lightest. And so I'm just going back and forth, and I did it a couple times until I feel like it's got a nice little gradient and blend, because I don't want any harsh lines. So yeah, so that's it. That was easy coloring. I'm going to take some fine Nocturne ink, and I'm going to stamp out my sentiment here, which is "Ride the wave, you got this." And so I'm going to be sending this to a friend of mine just to kind of cheer her up and send her well wishes. I'm going to pour some clear embossing powder over that now, and I'm going to heat set it. And I do this because I really want that sentiment to pop off the oxide. Sometimes, no matter how good your black ink is, the oxide tends to, it's pretty strong, so it's not going to give as stark or shiny. I want the shiny black look, basically, is what I'm going for. I'm going to trim this panel down just about 1/4 of an inch smaller than a card panel. And I'm going to place this down on my, card base. And then I'm just going to start putting my card together. So I thought this was it. This is why I'm putting the card together right now. You can see. I thought this is how I'm going to end my card. It's going to be simple. It can be for a man or a woman. I'm loving it. And then when I started to really kind of put those final touches together, and I felt like it was missing something. So I'm sure many of us feel that way when we're making our cards, but I really wanted to make the waves pop. And I didn't want to use a white gel pen, so I decided to use a snow marker. Now, in the history of my channel, I have used this snow marker multiple times. I've used it for poodle's fur, for beer foam on a beer mug. I've used it for snow. And now I'm using it for the caps of waves. So it is truly one of the most versatile embellishment items that I have. There's many things you can use for your waves, though, so be creative. I mean, I put on Instagram yesterday, what do you think I used? And people answered like embellishment mousse. And so, I mean, it was really some good guesses. But no, I used the snow marker because I wanted it to kind of come off the page. And this is how I was able to do that. So it's almost got this 3D effect, and I love this thing. This is seriously one of my favorite embellishment items to use. And so I'm going to show you here up close. You can kind of see how it really just bubbles and foams up, and I love it. So anyway, that is the card. Thank you so much for stopping by and for hanging out with us. Check out this new release. It's so much fun. And I will leave what I used in the description box below. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.